Howdy, and hello, I'm OhDough. Hope you're doing good. Let me explain the hardest mission in Helldivers 2 and why it's also the easiest and most rewarding. All while showing you exactly what's happening. No edits, none of that stuff. Just look at the gameplay if you want full proof here. This mission is going to be called Retrieve Essential Personnel. On level 9 difficulty, Helldive, you have to evacuate 60 people in 15 minutes. So it's basically a blitz mission of evacuation. What makes this so difficult, though, is the constant bug breaches and bot drops that seem as though you can't really fend them off in any meaningful manner. You maybe get rid of one bot drop, one bug breach using all your cooldowns, and another one that gets summoned. That is because they're targeting players, not really the objective. Sometimes they did, but most of the time they go after just players in general and their locations. And this mission is very different than the majority of other missions in the sense that splitting up is actually good. And that's where the big problem lies. Misinformation makes this mission almost impossible. And it's misinformation of people seeing stuff or just misinforming themselves on what they think should happen. For a while, I hated this mission because I kept failing it. I failed it basically 30 times out of 32 tries versus the automatons. Until I learned when you split up and you don't have everyone in the exact same location, the bug breaches and bot drops, they don't all go to the base anymore. And you'll see exactly that in the gameplay. You'll see 0 bot drops or 0 bug breaches go to the base. You will notice patrols, but they're not that hard to deal with. It's like here and there. On level 8 difficulty, on Helldive, it wouldn't be that much different either. And I've done this mission against the automatons on Helldive as a duo. So what I'm saying has been the case for at least a month now. And this happened last night. So it still works where I'm saying it. The reason why I'm making this video is because people are saying that I'm spreading misinformation. I don't know how patrols work or bug breaches work. When in reality, I was simply talking about this mission, which I have very extensive knowledge. I've done it way too many times. It's actually unhealthy. That's just what's going on. Now, when this mission started, I don't know these people. They're not my friends. I don't know them. I just loaded in the randoms. And I said, okay, y'all, I'm going to go press buttons. So just do me a favor. Don't go near the base. If they go near the base, whatever. I gave my suggestion. They can follow if they want to. If not, fine. But they are just doing their own thing. They're trying to get samples, which they don't do the best job. When I do this mission solo, I get like 50 samples. But I also don't go outside and touch grass. So we're on different playing fields. And the yap session has to continue. It's like the reason why I haven't posted about this mission is because it's so boring. Like doing the button pressing is lame. What is it to say? So yeah, I'm going to press this next button and then rotate to the other building with the button and then rotate back to the third building with the button and repeat that process over and over again. But this is how you make the mission easy. And the reason why we keep failing those defense campaigns, like I mentioned earlier, is because people will waste 15 minutes not knowing how to do this mission. And you don't have to do this method. You can sit here and defend the mission, but the hard part there, you want to have a good loadout, especially on the harder difficulties. But I've seen folks on Helldive difficulty running just the anti-material rifle versus the bugs. That weapon is really bad versus the chargers and useless versus the Battle Titans, which are the major issue. And I remember I had a mission that had 2 folks running that because the daily that day, which was yesterday, was get anti-material rifle kills, which I didn't complete. Man. Well, like, what do you expect is going to happen? And you also get folks that don't know how the game works. They're freaking putting... They have the Patriot exosuit, and they're machine gunning a Battle Titan. It's just going to reflect off the monster and do nothing. That reminds me, even with my whole team at the base, I'm still the only person pressing buttons most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time, which just doesn't make any sense. I'm running more, spending less time shooting and helping defend the stuff, and my teammates are doing their own thing. It's gotten a little bit worse with the addition of exosuits. And I don't mind. I'm just saying, if the goal is to beat the mission, it doesn't make sense that I'm the only one pressing buttons, and y'all are here, and we're failing the mission, when y'all could just be still playing the game and getting samples and still fighting stuff, and we could complete the mission. What makes this mission so rewarding, which I posted a whole walkthrough on that on the YouTube, it's a previous video, it says the best way to get samples, something like that. You just have the folks that aren't pressing the button. You have one person press the buttons. They have a loadout to handle the patrols that happen and the potential bug breach, because a bug breach can still target you at the base. That can still happen. In fact, they can all go to you. It's RNG. But the folks that aren't at the base are just getting samples. And on this mission, the sample density is disturbing. That's how good it is. It is actually disturbing. It's a weird thing. There's so many samples in literally one POI. 15, 20 samples in one single POI. But the folks that aren't doing this can be getting those super credits. They can be getting medals, whatever the case. And it's so fast. You can get a map set up. It's basically like a straight line almost. Most of it's water, very little landmass. There's very little walking around to be happening for the folks that are gathering. It's crazy. And that's what I find interesting. It's just how you can min-max this in a bit. And you don't have to do these things. I like the idea of learning and getting better at the game in ways that matter. I don't like it when folks that data mine stuff are trying to tell me how things work when I'm showing you how it works. Where was the bug breach, bro? Where was the bug breach? People saying that bug breaches go to every player and you splitting up doesn't actually help the team. Here's the thing. I play the game. That may seem like a shocker, I know. Most folks that make content on Helldivers 2, especially news content and guides, are not very good at the game. They don't play the game. They don't know what they're talking about, aside from the very basic stuff. I spend a disgusting amount of time playing the game to understand it the best I can, and I get things wrong. This is not one of those things. The bug breaches target players. And the bot drops too. I noticed there was a time, I think during the duo mission, my teammate went down. The bot drop happened, it targeted him, and he got knocked after the first ship went to him. The rest of the ships still went to his dead body because it targets players. So to put this in the very simplest terms I can, because it is confusing, the bug breaches and bot drops will target players on retrieve essential personnel missions. If every player is at the objective, every bot drop, every bug breach will go to the objective, making it that much harder if your goal is trying to beat the mission. And if you don't have a really good loadout and you're playing on harder difficulties, it is tough. If you're on level 5 difficulty, you can solo this mission, especially versus the automatons, given how strong weapons are versus, given how versatile support weapons are versus those monsters. Against the bugs, not many weapons are that versatile, especially when you're facing a bunch of battle titans. And I've seen freaking 7 battle titans at a time on this mission when we're all holding the friendship rope in hands in the base trying to defend it. And I've never seen a mission that has, like, no other mission has anywhere close to the fail rate, or let alone the quit rate. The amount of folks that just leave, they just leave. It's crazy to me. I remember I made a TikTok saying, hey guys, you don't have to finish the mission to get samples. And people took that as, you're telling folks not to finish the mission. No. I was saying that because I'm tired of folks that are trying to finish the mission and they fail, which happens, and then they leave even though I have a kajillion samples. You're losing out on this stuff. And they're not level 50. They're like level 20, level 15 sometimes. They don't have max samples unless a cheater gave them the sample somehow. And a closing statement, if you enjoy watching video game content and want folks to actually play video games, I'm just saying that I might be that person. Consider liking the content, commenting on this video to help me out, and or subscribing. Your choice. And thanks for watching. Have a good day.